Seems like the roller coaster ride that just wouldn't end. Gas prices continuing their volatility, hovering near the $4.30 mark in Bakersfield and Kern County.
And with people clamoring for some stability, we thought we'd break down the gas crisis piece by piece with our financial expert, Andy Barkate. Andy, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. What a wonderful subject, right?
Oh, geez, so lovely.
Especially with summer, creeping up on us. Everybody's
Spring
really
break,
keeping an eye on those prices. And in California, it's all about the taxes, right?
Well, that's a big part of it, Mike. I mean, all of us cringe when we go to the gas pump these days. That's nothing new. We cringe all the time. But we also know that gas prices vary all over the place, depending on where you go.
Sure.
They're higher in Los Angeles, a little less expensive here. If you drive across the border in Nevada, they're cheaper there. If you go to the south, they're yet cheaper in some of the southern states. So why the difference? Why are we the lucky ones in California?
Oh, we're so
a lot
lucky.
of it is cost that you just mentioned. Excuse me, tax. But if you break it down, there's some of the things are relatively easy to explain why the cost is what it is, but some aren't so easy to explain. So it still leaves some questions out there.
Okay, well, let's start with the easy ones.
Let's just do the math real quick.
Okay.
Now, yesterday, the price of a barrel of oil closed at about $107 per barrel and some change.
Okay.
Now, the API, the American Petroleum Institute says there's about to make a gallon of gas, it takes about a gallon of oil. So it's easy to do the math from there. So if you divide it back through, each gallon of gas costs about $2.55 per gallon just in raw material cost in the oil.
Okay.
So now, then if you look at the tax component of it, now across the board, the federal government charges 18.4 cents per gallon in tax.
Okay.
Everybody pays that, but it varies a lot at the state level. We in California are tied for the lead in that category.
Oh, good.
Yeah, wonderful
Fantastic.
honor. 37.5 cents we pay per gallon. So if you add it together, we're paying a shade over 56 cents per gallon in tax.
Just in taxes.
Just in tax. So if you add that together and you subtract out the price of what it costs at the pump, and I filled up yesterday for $4.19. That's regular.
Right.
That's regular. So if you back all that out, that leaves about $1.08 left. Now,
So where's that coming from?
well, part of it's refining costs. So that's you have to take the oil and make it into gasoline. But the rest of it's transportation costs and profit for the gas station. So,
Sure.
But now if you look at it and you start going backwards, let's give you another example. I mentioned California, we're the highest in price, in tax. Well, if you go across the country to Georgia, they're the lowest. They pay 7.5 cents tax per barrel. We're paying 37.5, they're paying 7.5.
Wow.
30-cent difference. But the price for a gallon of gas there is probably about $3.90. And we're average about $4.44 here, so there's about a 65-cent difference, leaving about 35 cents that you can't really account for. So where does that come in? Is it additional profit? But there's a lot of other things that come into it too that we don't really see. Some states and localities, cities and localities and counties have a tax also.
Okay.
So it's all mixed in there, so it leaves a little bit still to be determined. Where is that difference coming in? Why does it cost more now here, and you drive a couple of miles up the road and it's either a quarter higher or a quarter maybe less?
Right.
So there's still some talk about that, but none to say it's still not something you can actually put your finger on and say this is why it costs what it does.
Thank you for that. You got a little bit a clearer
Break
picture.
it down
A little bit.
as far as who's getting how much of that $4.19 a gallon.
We're going to find that extra quarter. We're going to find out who's getting that.
It's